this is taking place and that you all are here. This is exactly what he would have wanted and welcomed. Now, we've been around for 15 years. That means there are already gray hairs among some of the former fellows. So that's a good sign. And so let us continue this into the future with more gray hairs and even gray beards. Now, let's review what we've done. First of all, this is the 9th session, and it is the prelude to next year's session, which will be held in Bishkek. And that's where the first meeting took place, in the Kyrgyz Republic. So it is the first time that we've returned. And that's a good sign, because everyone will have learned in the process how to make this better and better. Meanwhile, in spite of COVID, there's been a lot of activity going on. And that's thanks to you all. There have been dozens of online consultations, conferences, discussions. These have been on topics as diverse as Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, all sorts of topics. And these continue. And the network now, we have 262 people here, I think, right now. In other words, recovering from COVID, we're not yet back to the numbers that we had in Tashkent before COVID, but, and here's the main point, it's time to lift the entire project to a much higher level. And so when we go to Bishkek, which is a very welcoming place for conferences and meetings, when we go there, we should be thinking now, in each country, what we can do to bring people from your country, from your government, from your business community, all to Bishkek a year from now. This is very, very important. I don't think it's unrealistic to think of 500 people. And I think at that level, we will be able to draw people as speakers from the entire world. And that's all also very, very important. And it will become a hub, not only for discussions of big issues of international relations and diplomacy, but also of business, of deal making. So let's make next year in Bishkek 500 people. Let's enable SAMSA or CAMCA to flower like never before. So I want to welcome you all, and I want particularly in closing to thank all of you who've worked so hard on this year's project. And there's a lot going on. Many of us attended yesterday, very interesting sessions on education. And this was really valuable. Lots of people plugged in. Important subjects were raised and discussed. It was very useful. And we heard about absolutely new institutions, including Team University in Tashkent, which is one of its co-founders is here with us, Hikmat, our dear fellow. It was a very valuable session. The organizer of it is sitting modestly in the back, as he always does. It was done beautifully. As we look forward, we should be asking what topics, what areas do we want collective approach to next year in Bishkek? There is discussion about think tanks. There's already been some coordination there. There's been on women's subjects. That's already taken place. What else should we be doing? This is the time to start thinking about next year and building this up to an even higher level. I thank you very much and turn the floor over to dear Sarah Tonucci.
Good morning. On behalf of the Rumsfeld Foundation and our fellow organizers, welcome to the 2023 CAMCA Regional Forum. We are delighted to see you all here and thank you for making the time to join us. As I was making my way to Almaty earlier this week, I couldn't help but reflect on the last time we hosted this event in Kazakhstan back in 2014 for the very first CAMCA Regional Forum held in Astana. I recall vividly in the months leading up to that inaugural forum, the many, many meetings and conversations with Secretary Rumsfeld as we worked through the mission, concept, and structure of the forum. Not just for those initial events in Astana, but also for what the CAMCA Regional Forum might develop into in the future. We reviewed logos, discussed topics, brainstormed speakers, considered approaches for engaging regional governments and businesses, and much more. Now, for those here who may have had the opportunity to be around Secretary Rumsfeld, you know that he was often brimming with ideas, particularly around topics he was passionate about, and the possibilities for the future of this forum was no exception. He was energized and optimistic about the prospects for this convening. And while he was reliably measured in his short-term expectations and often advised to walk before you run, it was clear that he believed deeply that something truly exceptional and impactful could develop from this regional gathering. Now, you might wonder, why was he so optimistic, so confident in this idea? It all stemmed from the extensive time he spent getting to know the fellows who had participated in our CAMCA Fellowship Program, many of whom are here today, and learning about their ideas and their aspirations. He was thoroughly inspired by these rising leaders, their talent, their drive, their character, and importantly, their dedication and desire to contribute to the development of their countries and the region as a whole. He thought that if you were to bring together this collection of talent, this boundless energy, this optimism, these minds, there was no doubt that significant and valuable regional advancements would result. Now, today, we are grateful to be here in Almaty, nearly a decade after that inaugural CAMCA Forum in Astana, and we are delighted that that initial spark and optimism for the future impact of this convening has proven to be valid. Since 2014, this forum has traveled to 7 countries and hosted over 1,200 attendees, representing more than 20 countries and over 250 international companies. Forum speakers have included presidents, prime ministers, cabinet ministers, ambassadors, CEOs, top economists, business leaders, and more. Forum connections have led to the launch of new initiatives, successful partnerships, and regional collaboration across a range of sectors and disciplines. Vital and unique conversations have been had about how the CAMCA region can more closely and effectively collaborate for the benefit and success of each of the 10 countries. Ideas have been spurred, acted on, and implemented. So as we come together for this year's sessions under the appropriate theme of Uniting CAMCA, Progress and Possibilities, like Secretary Rumsfeld, we remain motivated and energized by the progress and possibilities of this CAMCA Forum community gathered here today, and of the progress and possibilities of this important region of the world. Thank you once again for joining us. We look forward to the conversations and connections to come. And with that, I am pleased to pass the floor to Caroline Savage, U.S. Consul General in Almaty. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It is a true honor to welcome this esteemed group to Almaty on this fabulously beautiful morning. And I understand this is the first in-person gathering in the region since the pandemic started. That 5 years, in many ways, it feels as though so much has changed. The world has changed. But I'm grateful for events such as this that remind us of the continuity of such a dynamic and important network as the CAMCA gathering. And I fondly recall working on the 2018 conference together with your Azerbaijani members, at least a couple of whom I believe are here today, Fariz Ismailzadeh, And that was also organized by this distinguished and amazing group of professionals, Dr. Fred Starr, Sarah Tonucci, Dr. Svante Cornell, and a good number of the broader group were there as well. At that time in Baku, I was really struck by the energy, the passion of the leaders who understood the promise of regional collaboration and the power of forging a tight coalition of like-minded, action-oriented leaders from across this dynamic and growing region. Likewise, over my last 2 years here in Almaty, I found so many eager partners who agree that communication and collaboration across this region are absolutely critical to driving further security, stability, and prosperity for Central Asia, the Caucasus, and well beyond. This forum could not be more timely, as today it is clear there are strong tailwinds behind regional integration as much, or perhaps more, than ever before. The United States is firmly committed to supporting connectivity and integration efforts in this important region. And through our C5+1, as we call it, diplomatic platform and beyond, the 5 Central Asian countries and the United States are working together to deliver regional solutions to global challenges. Since its inception in 2015, C5+1 cooperation has strengthened the broader region's economic ties, business environment, enhanced energy development, mitigated environmental challenges, addressed security threats, expanded people-to-people connections, and advocated for women's economic empowerment. In 2023 alone, the United States is devoting more than $100 million for cooperation and engaging more in over 40 regional programs. So we're demonstrating through our words and our deeds that we are committed and respect the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of our Central Asian, Caucasian, and other regional partners. And this work is increasingly connecting the broader CAMCA region. The US-funded Economic Resilience Initiative for Central Asia, as one example, is a $45 million initiative to diversify Central Asia's trade routes, including across the Caspian, expand investment in the region, and increase employment opportunities by investing in people through training and education. These programs certainly are in response to the dramatic changes in the region. As this group understands very well, Russia's war in Ukraine has upended Central Asia's traditional economic linkages with and through Russia, making it even more necessary for Central Asia and the Caucasus to work together to create alternate routes and a market that attracts foreign investment from across the globe. Finally, much of the work that we do with civil society is helping to drive communication, innovation, and collaboration. I hope those from Central Asia are familiar with our Go Viral program, a State Department-supported regional network of young influencers in media, business, culture, and technology, working together to increase economic opportunity and find solutions to shared challenges. And I hope those from the Caucasus know about our Digital Communications Network, or DCN as it's known, which does similar work, empowering the next generation of digital voices. Later this month, the DCN's executive director will be speaking at the Go Viral Festival in Astana. You have the chance to be there the 23rd and 24th of June. The two organizations are discussing additional ways to integrate, better support, and strengthen civil society ties across the broader region. So we have representation here, thankfully, from across our consulate participating in today's forum today and tomorrow. We're all really eager to hear from you what more we might do as the United States government to further bolster ongoing connectivity and integration efforts that I know you'll be discussing in great depth and detail. I'll conclude by thanking each of you for making the time out of your very, very busy schedules to come to gorgeous, beautiful Almaty, and for your interest and efforts to connect with your counterparts, colleagues, and so many like-minded people from across this fantastic region. This is certainly a time of great challenges, but also for great opportunities to bolster our collective efforts for the long run. Thank you all for your important part in creating a more stable, inclusive, and prosperous world. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of the CAMCA network, it's my honor to welcome each and one of you to the 9th CAMCA Forum. We are delighted that we have an opportunity to gather here today in Almaty. This year's theme, CAMCA, United CAMCA, Progress and Possibilities, encapsulates not only the vision, but the spirit of entire network. We, the network, try to build the partnerships and friendships that then became the living testimony how this network, and through this network, initial connections blossomed into the friendships, and these friendships then turned to cornerstone of the new regional synergy, sparking brilliant opportunities. Over the course of these 2 days, you will be exposed to these new ideas, new projects developed by 262 CAMCA fellows who come from 10 nations, each of one with its strengths, challenges, and opportunities. And despite of this, over the years, we managed to show to the region and beyond the region, when there is a will and there is an opportunity, you can build on the friendships. And I encourage every one of you to use this opportunity and approach our network representatives, get to know them, these brilliant people who come from the various backgrounds, starting from the business, media, education, and make sure you connect with us. We are here to explore what we can do together jointly to make sure that this region, which is full of conflicts, challenges, is turned into the opportunities. So, welcome. And now I would like to introduce my brilliant friend, the heart and mind behind this forum, dear Aizhan, the national coordinator from Kazakhstan.
Thank you, Tamuna. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed participants, we are very happy to see you at this highly anticipated forum where brilliant minds from diverse backgrounds gather to exchange ideas and shape the future. First of all, let me express my warmest gratitude to our Kazakhstan team. Where are you, Kazakhstan team? Can I ask you to stand up? Thank you for your support and efforts to make this forum happen today. Before we dive into the discussion and kickoff sessions, I would like to extend my gratitude to the sponsors of this forum: Vitera Kazakhstan, LLP, Kusta Group, APEC Consulting, APEC Training Center, Food City. Your unwavering support and commitment have made this gathering possible, and your belief in the power of collaboration and knowledge sharing is truly creditable. And on behalf of the organization committee and all participants, I extend my sincere appreciation to our official media partner, Kazakhstan Press Club. We highly appreciate your efforts in raising awareness about the topics that will be addressed during the forum. I don't want you to get the feeling that you're sitting somewhere at the Oscar Award sword ceremony. This is not about this. The only thing that I want to say that this forum is not only about the speakers and organizers. It's also about you, participants. Each one of you has a unique perspective, wealth of knowledge, and a passion to pursue changes. So I urge you to make the most of this forum. Share your insights, ask thought-provoking questions, and make connections that will extend far beyond these walls. And I also wish you to be inspired by the stories, the insights, and achievements of those around us. And let's change the world together.